Hello and good morning. We're back again today reading from the poetry of Rumi. And welcome to another beautiful morning. Today's poem is called Who Says Words with My Mouth? Now, it's a very deep philosophical question. It's a very deep question to really dive into. Who speaks through me? After all, I'm here, right? I identify with this body as me. So when you say, who speaks through me? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense, right? But Rumi is going into a very deep and profound spiritual question where he's asking, who am I? Am I this body? Am I this mind? Am I these emotions? Am I this mouth that speaks? Or am I something else? So he begins like this. All day I think about it, and then at night I say it. Where did I come from? And what am I supposed to be doing? All day I think about it, and then at night I say it. Why doesn't he say it in the daytime? Maybe he's around people who'll think he's weird. Maybe they'll think he's crazy. But one who asks these questions is indeed crazy. One who asks these questions is indeed weird, because they are starting to wake up. They're starting to awaken from the delusion of thinking that this is me. My thoughts are me. My feelings are me. My life story is me. It is, and it is not. Let's see what that means. Where did I come from? Now, why would the question arise? You might think, well, I just came from my mother's womb. I came from a certain country. I was born here. Right? Where did I come from, and what am I supposed to be doing? So Rumi is looking beyond, obviously beyond the obvious, which is the place of your birth and so on, and your parents. And he's saying, I came here, I existed before I was even born. I came into the womb of my mother, but where did I come from? What is that place where I came from? Did I exist before? Did I not exist before? Am I energy, or am I just matter? If I am energy, and if energy is neither created nor destroyed, and Rumi knew this principle too, then where was I? Where did I come from? And if I did come here, why did I come here? What was the purpose? What was the point? Right? What was the reason for my existence, for my even being in this body, in this family, in this country, this is really diving deep into the essence of life. These are the people who look behind the veil. These are the people who ask the questions that nobody asks. And then he answers, I have no idea. I have no idea. What has no idea? Our mind has no idea. Our intellect has no idea, because all it knows is this world. All it knows is here and now. So how will I get an idea? My soul, Rumi writes, my soul is from elsewhere. I am sure of that. And I intend to end up there. So a lot of times people have this feeling that I don't belong here. That somehow, why are people so weird? Why do they think I'm weird? But why are they so weird? Right? What is this life? Many, many poets have thought about this. Many philosophers have thought about this. Many spiritual teachers have talked about this. I remember a poem I read in the fourth grade. What is this life? It is by, I was told it by William Wordsworth, but then again, I've just recently found out it was by someone else. So forgive me if I'm wrong in my assigning credit. But the poem was significant and it stayed with me from that time. I don't remember a lot of things, but this I do. It said, "What is this life if so full of cares, I mean, so worries and problems? We have no time to stop and stare, no time to stand beneath the boughs, the trees, the branches, and stare as long as sheep or cows." So the question being asked by this poet was, what is the point of this life? And when you're depressed, sometimes you might have that question too. Is my life pointless? But he says, no, 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 no. My soul is from elsewhere. I am sure of that. And I intend to end up there. Oh, well, how is he going to do that? How is he going to make sure he gets back to the place where we all came from? And where indeed is that? Let's read further. Let's see what he's got to say. This drunkenness began in some other tavern. When I get back around to that place, I'll be completely sober. Now, to understand how the Sufis use the concept of drunkenness, I'm going to read to you a little passage from the beginning of this book by Coleman Barks, where he talks about the background of some of the concepts that are in Sufi poetry, like Rumi's. And in here he writes, "In the tavern are many wines, the wine of delight in color and form and taste, the wine of the intellect's agility, the fine port of stories, and the cabernet of soul singing. Being human means entering this place where entrancing varieties of desire are served." So we've entered into this world where entrancing varieties of desire are served. And he compares these to different wines. The wine, the cabernet of the soul, of soul singing, the fine port of stories, right? So again, being human means entering this place where many varieties, entrancing varieties, oh, that's such a great word, entrancing. They enrapture you, they capture you. It could be a beautiful thing that you desire, a house, a car, it could be a person who you desire, it could be any number of things that you desire, and they all entrance you, they captivate you, they pull you in. The grape skin of ego breaks and a pouring begins. So when you want to get beyond this world, he refers to this as the grape skin of the ego. That must break. Then the pouring of the real wine begins. Then the real wine begins. The real nectar that is within all of us begins to emerge. The real sweetness, the real essence of the soul begins to emerge. Fermentation is one of the oldest symbols for human transformation. When grapes combine their juice and are closed up together for a time in a dark place, the results are spectacular. So have you noticed that a lot of times we go through really dark places? Some have referred to this as the dark night of the soul. We go through really dark places, places of grief, places of suffering, places of loss, places of despair and depression and anxiety, and all of that is compared to fermentation out here. In the poetry of Rumi, that fermentation leads to the sweet wine that will emerge. And similarly, when you begin to tap into the deeper significance of the fermentation of your soul, the fermentation of that experience you're having in this world, the trials and tribulations, the things that you think are so immensely horrific and terrible, which indeed they are. From a human perspective, they absolutely are. But what if you are a being that never dies? What if you are a being that cannot be hurt by any of it? What if you are an invincible being having an experience that is so strange and foreign, and yet which you're so caught up in? I've been learning about the metaverse, and I think you all might probably know about it, and the VR headsets and all that stuff. It's fascinating to me because it really links up to the universe that we live in. This universe, which we believe to be real, is in fact, according to many spiritual teachers, an illusion. And if it is an illusion, then we have bought into it. We have become suckers, right? We have believed that all of this that is going on, all the houses we're going to accumulate, and the wealth we want to have, and the things that we desire, and the people, whatever it is that you long for, was all part of that illusion, that metaverse. That's what we live in. It's fascinating, isn't it? Anyway, so when they refer to wine, they're talking about when the tavern is sort of this world, and then you walk out from the tavern. And it says here, we are all returning. The tavern is a kind of glorious hell. So that refers to this world. This world is a kind of glorious hell that humans enjoy and suffer, and then push off in their search for truth. So then there come those who say, wait a minute, this isn't happening. This world that everyone thinks is so great, right, it's not as great as it's made out to be. They begin to look beyond the world. They begin to think, what is beyond this? And then that's where practice of spirituality and meditation and even religion come about. So they say here, the tavern is a dangerous region where sometimes disguises are necessary, but never hide your heart, Rumi urges. Keep open there. A breaking apart, a crying out into the street begins in the tavern, and the human soul returns to find its way home. So a beautiful story is narrated here. It says, it's 4 a.m. Nasruddin leaves the tavern and walks the town aimlessly. A policeman stops him. Why are you out wandering the streets in the middle of the night? Sir, replies Nasruddin, he's drunk, right? If I knew the answer to that question, I would have been home hours ago. So in many ways, we're like that person. We have been intoxicated by the wine of this world. We have decided to step away from it, to try to understand it, to try to go deeper and find significance in all of this experience we're having. But we're not beyond being drunk. We're still captivated with this world. And so the result is that if someone were to stop us, we would say, I don't know. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm really doing. I don't know why I'm still messing with my head, and why my thoughts and my emotions still mess with me. I don't know how to get rid of this drunkenness. I am still like a drunk person wandering the streets of this world. So Rumi says, the drunkenness began in some other tavern. When I get back around to that place, I'll be completely sober, so you hope. Meanwhile, I'm like a bird from another continent sitting in this aviary. The day is coming when I fly off. We all dream of that day when we will fly off, when we will no longer suffer, when we will no longer be hurt, we will no longer be angry or upset or troubled by the things that go on in this world. And yet, we're not able to do that. So he says, one day, I know, the day is coming when I will fly off. But who is it now in my ear who hears my voice? Who says words with my mouth? This is the beginning of awareness. This that he's talking about, this questioning. Who is actually having this experience? Who is having these thoughts? Who is having these emotions? Who is the person behind? After all, if I have a mind, and my mind is having thoughts, then who is the person who has the mind that is having the thoughts? Do you see? Who looks out with my eyes? Who looks out with my eyes? Such an immense question. Who looks out through these eyes? Who hears with these ears? Who speaks with this mouth? What is the soul? I cannot stop asking. See, the asking is as important, is more important than the knowing. The knowing doesn't matter. The knowing will be something you'll pick up from a book. The knowing will not teach you anything. The asking will. When do you ask? All the time. Where do you ask? Everywhere. Right? Wherever you go, whatever you do, keep asking. Who is looking through these eyes? Who is speaking through this mouth? Who is breathing through this nose? Who is this? Who am I? It's not a question that has an answer. The moment you have an answer, you haven't got it. You haven't got it. The moment you think, oh, I'm the soul, that's what I am. Now you've given it a name and a label, and you've stopped looking. I cannot stop asking, Rumi says. If I could taste one sip of an answer, if I could break out of this prison for drunks, I didn't come here of my own accord, and I can't leave that way. Whoever brought me here will have to take me home. So that is why you'll see in most of the traditions of the world, there is this calling out to God, take me home. I've had enough, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about surrender. And he talks about, when one who surrenders unto me, I pick this person up from the ocean of birth and death. In Christianity, they talk about surrendering to Christ, right? And that Christ will take you home. And then in the Sufi traditions, they have similar things as well. They talk about the annihilation of the ego. And on the path of Advaita and spirituality, the same thing is spoken about, the annihilation of the ego and the merging with the oneness. Whoever brought me here will have to take me home. In other words, the getting out of here will require a higher vibration. You cannot do it with the vibration of your mind. You cannot think your way out of this place. You cannot figure it out. It is from a higher vibration that we are uplifted. Our soul is uplifted out of here. This poetry, Rumi says, I never know what I'm going to say. I don't plan it. See, whenever someone writes to you from this place, this is why I love his work, because I have experienced this myself in my own life, in my own writing. I don't know what the next word is going to be. I don't know what it is that is going to be said through me. And it's the same thought that Rumi is expressing here. I never know what I'm going to say. I don't plan it. When I'm outside the saying of it, I get very quiet and rarely speak at all. That's right. Only in a quiet mind is this truth revealed. Even the Bible says that. It says, be still and know that I am God. Because in stillness, God is revealed. In stillness, the truth is revealed of who I am and where I came from and what this world is and why I'm here. Right? So it's not that the answer lies with any one path or with any one religion or with any one person. That's why I like to expand into different authors and different people, is that we begin to understand the truth is everywhere. It's in everyone. It's in you. You know it already. What I'm saying to you is not new to you. This is known. This has always been known to you. And yet I'm reviving a memory of something that is ancient and something that is known in the heart of hearts, in the soul of soul. You know this, right? It is in every scripture of the world. It is in every philosophy of the world. The truth is everywhere. Even the homeless person knows it. Even the child knows it. Every one of us knows it. So Rumi continues, we have a huge barrel of wine, but no cups. What does it mean? A huge barrel of wine, but no cups. That's fine with us, he says. Every morning we glow, and in the evening we glow again. They say there is no future for us. They're right, which is fine with us. So I've had it said to me, oh, nothing good will come of you. There is no future for you. And one who has understood the truth knows that. They know that there is no future for me. I am a madman speaking into the wilderness. And you know that this ego is what has to be shattered. And so if you want to call me a fool, by all means, please welcome, because I am a fool. If you want to call me a loser, I am a loser. I have lost everything. What is there to... The one who has gained everything in this world has gained nothing. And the one who has gained their soul has gained everything. So to me, the greatest treasure lies here within us. Seek not the treasures of this world, but the treasures that lie within you. So that treasure is what Rumi is talking about here. We have a huge barrel of wine, but no cups. So we don't understand the great wisdom, the great truth, the great beauty that lies within us, within each of us, right? It's there within all of us. So he says, no cup, no container with which to understand it, no reference point with which to be able to really get to know what it is that we are and what we have within us. We have a huge barrel of wine. That's within us here, the soul. Every morning we glow, and in the evening we glow again. What is this glow he's talking about? This glow is this awareness. This glow is this realization that I am not any of this stuff of this world, that none of this will make me happy, that none of this will fulfill me, that indeed I have everything I need within me. That barrel of wine he talks about, That's right here. I don't need to go to some tavern to get it. I don't need to go to some bar to drink it. That intoxication is in the soul. It is here. This is the greatest intoxicant of all. And if you haven't experienced it, take a deep breath. It's been waiting for you. It's been waiting for you all your life to enter into this hidden chamber, to be silent, to feel it, to experience it, to know yourself. Not from here, not from some book, not even from me, because I can only point the way. I cannot take you there. That is your journey. You must pause, step away from the world, and turn within. Within lies the magic. Within lies the huge barrel of wine. And the cup and the container that he's talking about is becoming aware of it. Every morning you will glow with this awareness. Every evening you will glow with this awareness. This awareness will fill you, right? This inner wine, this inner spirit will fill you, and you will glow and shine. And people will say to you, "You're crazy," and they're right. Please don't be ashamed of that. And they will say to you, "There is no future for this. I mean, do something useful, get a job." And I'm not saying you shouldn't, and I'm not saying that that's not necessary. Of course it is. We can hold both realities, the reality of our inner world and the reality of the outer world. It's not an either or, it's a both and. So, yeah, I'm so grateful to you for being here. It really means a lot that you have been coming and listening and sharing. Please let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. My Instagram page is rohitjuneja.us, rohitjuneja.us, and that's on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube. Just search for me, Rohit Juneja. I've got tons of YouTube videos, and my website, rohitjuneja.com, to find out more. I do this talk on Rumi reading a new poem of his every Monday. I try to be here at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. I'm sometimes a little delayed, but bear with me. I'm just kind of getting started on this. But I would love to see you here, and I would love to hear your comments. And I have someone who's posted something really incredible. I'm going to touch on that for a couple of minutes before I wind up. Amaribel says, "What do I do with the still world desires?" Quote unquote, still world desires. Although I may know that my need for love, to be loved, comes from my ego or needs not covered in my childhood, how do I let go of the need to be completely? Oh, I don't read the rest of it. Well, I'll address the first part, since the second I'm not able to make sense of. What do I do with the still world desire? So even though you are still, even though your mind is peaceful, it doesn't mean the desires of the ego will not continue. Of course they will. Your search for love will continue. But what is important is that you bring the two worlds together. Instead of seeing them as separate worlds, instead of seeing that there is a spiritual world and there is a material world, you bring the two together. You find spirit in matter, and you find matter in spirit. They come together. And that is where you begin to experience a world beyond this world. You begin to understand that we are exactly where we need to be. Our search is to find heaven here, not somewhere there. Our search is to find God here and not somewhere there. Our search is to find peace and love here. You may think it is in a particular person. No, love is not a person. Love is an energy that comes into a person, and from that person to us, and from us to that person. But learn how to honor it. People want to find soulmates. That is part of our desires. Why do we want that? We want to find, but before you go to find the soulmate, find the soul. Find you. Who is the one that is looking, as Rumi says? Who is the one that is speaking? Find this first. Then go seeking your desires for a soulmate or for love. Because then you will know how to honor a soul, how to honor love, and how to honor another being. I'll end with this for now. And I look forward to seeing you again. Meanwhile, if you're interested in joining me, come to my website, rohitjuneja.com, or go to my Instagram. I'd love to see you there and hear you. And please, please, please comment. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. I would love to hear your opinions, your thoughts, your understanding, and would love to be able to bring that onto the program itself. So lots of love and wish you all the best. Take care.